Yo, what's good? Welcome back. If this is your first time here, I go by the name of DJ Focus. In this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to make a modern hip-hop type beat. I'm gonna be chopping up a sample as well in this video, so let's get into the video. So here's the sample I'm gonna be chopping up. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look for the beats per minute. Alright, so the beats per minute is 75 or 150. I'm just gonna use 150 instead. Alright, so now that we have this, now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring this knob right here. It's called the pitch. I'm gonna bring it up, and I'm gonna bring it up to like a couple hundred cents. Alright, so I'm liking this, so I left this at 200 cents right here, as you guys can see. Alright, so now that I have this at 200 cents, now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna export this as a WAV file. So now that we have this, now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna chop this sample up and I'm gonna load it into my MPC. So the way I chop up my samples, I always double click on them, and then when this window pops up, right click on it and hit audio editor. And once this audio editor comes up, this is where I do all the chopping up. So the first thing I always do is I always cut this part out. And to let you guys know, I also took off the bass off the sample because I don't want it. And to do that, let me show you guys how to do it real quick. This is my original sample right here. I'm gonna take this to channel 1, and now that's in channel 1, I'm gonna insert a EQ. And once this comes up, as you guys can see all this, you want to come up here where it says preset, and you want to put the one that says 3 bands. And once you see this is the main one you want to focus on. So let me reset this and let me play the sample. As you guys can see, you need to eliminate all this. As you guys can see up here, this is where your sub is at, and this is where your bass is at, and this is your low mid. So to get rid of the bass and sub, go up here, and the setting you're looking for is a high pass. And once you got the high pass, go to this knob down here, and you want to go to step 8. Now I'm gonna play my sample, and I'm gonna cut off the bass. So I'm gonna chop up the sample each bar. Alright, so that right there is my first bar. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click this button right here. I'm gonna send this to my playlist. And as you guys can see, it's right up here. And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do this for the next 8 to 16 bars. And I'm gonna skip this part though, because it's gonna take too long. So as you guys can see right here, I chopped it up 8 different ways. Alright, so now that we have that, now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add an FPC, pretty much a virtual MPC. So now that we have this right here, I'm gonna go to this preset down here that says main, and now all these controls down here are actually mapped out to the ones down here. So if I click pad number 1, it's gonna play pad number 1 up there as well. So I'm gonna click on pad number 1 down here, and it's playing right here, as you guys can see. The next one, and the 4th one. So now all I gotta do is just drag and drop it. Now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play something real quick. So now that we did that, now I'm gonna chop it up and lay something out. Alright, so now that we got the main loop, now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some drums. So let's do that. So here are the drums I'm going with. All right, so now let's start on the pattern. So I gotta fix my 808. The 808 is actually an A major, so I'm gonna insert my A major scale. Pretty much this plugin right here lets you know the scale you're playing in. So I'm just gonna go to A major, and then this type, I'm just gonna put major scale. It's right here. So now that this VST loaded up, I'm just gonna insert this. And now I'm gonna drag this and drop it to my scale. And as you guys can see, this is my A major scale right here. So now I'm going to use these notes as my ghost notes for my 808. So yeah, this is basically how you chop up samples and make old school / modern type beats. So the last thing I gotta do, I just gotta arrange the track. And thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm out.